You've been working hard, doing everything you're told to improve your finances. But no matter what you do, it feels like you're stuck in the same place. I know exactly how frustrating this is because I was there too, as also 78% of the Americans. For years, my net worth barely moved, even though I was doing all the right things, but then in just 4 years I transformed it from this to this while working a 9-to-5 job. The key to that? I changed some bad habits I developed over the years while following the common financial advices we all receive. So in this video, I will show you 7 middle-class habits that are keeping you poor and what to do about them, so that in the end you will be able to have hundreds of thousands of dollars more. And this first habit is one of the worst, because if you have a 9-to-5 job like me, this not only won't help you have more money, but it might even make you lose your job. And obviously you don't want that. Just last year I realized how important this is. It was a difficult time at work. We were facing a huge problem on a project and couldn't find a solution. It was a critical project, and so I was really working hard, trying my best every day, doing long hours even on the weekends. But nothing was helping, nothing was advancing. And obviously I was under a lot of pressure from management. They made it clear that I had to solve this issue or there would be consequences. I was really struggling and I couldn't see a way out. I was probably on the verge of a burnout. I had to change something or I might have lost my job and my sanity. So I decided to change the way I was working. I started having a different approach, and actually we started getting closer to a solution. Little by little we were advancing and finally we completely solved it. And the great thing is that once I changed the approach, I didn't have to work long hours anymore. I didn't have to sacrifice my weekends and free time for that. And this was thanks to one single thing: leverage. This basically means finding ways to get more done with less effort. And to do that, you have to start making decisions that generate more value for less time. You might automate some processes, or you might learn some skills that will make your job faster, for example. If you start thinking this way about your job, you will begin working smarter and won't have to work as hard as you used to. You won't need to spend all day at work to obtain the same result, which only means you will be a better worker in the eyes of the management. And this will probably lead you to salary raises. So once you start working smart, you will see everything in your career going forward smoothly, as well as you will feel much better because you will have the time to enjoy your life. And all of this will automatically lead you to making more money. But here comes another trap, which could actually be your dream. But it's one of the biggest reasons people don't have enough money and end up dying in debt. Imagine you're going hiking. You want to be prepared, so you start packing your backpack, you put some food, some water, then hey, who knows if it will be too cold on top, so it's probably good to put a sweater too. Then you also take a book. It might be relaxing to read something in the nature. The camera. That's important too. You're all ready and you go up the mountain. You're feeling good, you start going up, but every step you make, you struggle a little more. And at some point, it is just too difficult to advance. You realize now that your backpack is too heavy and you can't advance with it because it's draining all of your energy. Well, the backpack is actually the huge debt you get when you buy a house. And if you're not extremely careful, it will be too heavy. And the fault of this is that we all grow up hearing that you should buy a house as soon as you can. But that's not the truth, because you need really solid finances to be able to buy a house and not struggle financially. And despite that, everyone still tries to buy the biggest house they can. On top of that, banks often try to trick you when offering a mortgage, because what they offer you is not what you can actually afford. It is the mortgage that will make them the most money. This means that they always offer you more money than you can spend, because in the worst case, they keep your house. And if you want to know more about why you should probably continue renting for some time instead of buying a house, I would strongly recommend you this video, where you will learn everything you need to take the correct decision for your own situation. So rushing to buy a house that might be too expensive for you is like writing your own poverty sentence. So be extremely careful when starting a mortgage and take into account all of the different variables that might have an impact on your future finances. And now I suppose that you would like to make more money in the future, right? Well, this bad habit definitely ruins your possibility at earning more. And just because of that, I was losing $20,000 per year. Since I started working, I've always done my best to increase my skills and deliver more value to the company. I was continuously learning new things and improve the areas in which I could do better. And this was working well because I received several promotions. However, the salary wasn't increasing as much as I thought it should, and it was frustrating. So I kept on doing my best to show I deserved a raise, but nothing was changing. Then one day, a colleague of mine told me he just got a 30% raise. I was shocked. Why him and not me? So I asked him how he managed to have it, and it was actually very simple. So I did the same, and I also got the raise I deserved. And that's when I realized I had a habit that was only hurting me, because I was only waiting to receive a raise. I was waiting for someone of the management to say, hey, Nico should have a raise. But this will never happen. That is why since this moment I started going directly to my supervisor and asking him a raise while proving him I deserved it. And this is also what you should start doing as soon as possible, negotiating your salary. Right now it could be costing you tens of thousands of dollars every single year. But now, how should you do that? Well, you have to prepare yourself. Firstly, you have to provide value to the company, more than what you're expected to, and find a way to prove it to your supervisors. Once you know how to show the value you give, you have to discuss with your supervisors about your raise, showing him the added value provided. If you're well prepared, you will probably receive a positive answer and you will start making more money. So negotiating your salary is one of the easiest ways to increase your income, and it will make you hundreds of thousands of dollars more over your whole career. So already by changing these first 3 habits, you will have much more money. But if you continue with this 4th bad habit, everything will become useless. But unfortunately, this is extremely common. Imagine it is your birthday. You've made a big cake for your party. You cut the first slice and hand it to a friend. The second one, the same. The third and the fourth. Until you discover there's nothing left for you. You put a lot of effort in it and you really wanted to eat it, but now you can't. It's not fair, right? Well, I was doing the same with my money. As soon as I received my salary, I'd start paying all the bills, rent, electricity, the phone. In just a couple of minutes, I would have almost nothing left to enjoy my life. And that's what probably you're also doing, paying the bills as soon as you have the money. Well, this doesn't work, because doing so, you will just hurt yourself and your finances. Because with this approach, it is just impossible to have more money and you will be stuck in the rat race. But there's a simple way of changing that, and it is just by paying yourself first, not last. So when you receive your money, put some money in your savings and investments accounts. And only at this point you can pay your bills. Doing that every month, you will be improving your financial situation extremely easily. Now sure, you will tell me that you might not have money to pay your bills if you save and invest first, but there are actually many ways to change that. And this is why if you actually want to learn more in detail how to better manage your money so that you will increase your net worth, you just have to hit the subscribe button, because that's what I help you to do in this channel. And so by paying yourself first, you will be increasing your net worth all the time, which just means it will be easier for you to be able to live the life of your dreams. But now I have a bad news for you. You might not like this point and it might be difficult, but this is the root cause of most of your financial problems. So if you don't understand it, despite the effort you will put in changing your habits, you will likely fall again in these traps. And this happened to me in my early 20s. I used to hang out with my usual friends every day, and despite not having a lot of money, we were spending everything we had to party and similar. And this meant that at the end of each month, we would be without any money left. We continued doing like this for a long time. But then, through work, I met new people with which I started hanging out. I was having a lot of fun with them as well, and rapidly I noticed something. I was spending much less money with them compared to my other friends. So I started thinking about that. Why was I spending so much less? Well, I got my answer once I read, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." I realized that I was adapting to what the group was doing. If they were taking a bottle of wine, I'd take it too. If they were partying, I would. If they were just taking a juice, I would too. Because this is how human psychology works. We adapt to our surroundings, and so the people with which you are have a huge influence on your decisions. And this means that if you're surrounded by people which have bad financial habits, you will end up with bad financial habits too. So even if you're making the effort of changing them, I'm not saying you can't, but it will be much more difficult if you're in an environment that doesn't favor it. And by that, I am not saying you have to change your friends. That would be crazy. But what you should do is to expand your inner circle. Find some friends which have a good financial habits, read books about that, watch more videos about personal finance. All of this will create an environment around you which will make it easier to improve your finances, and it makes a huge difference. So if you're not careful about the people that are close to you and their influence on your actions, you will never quit your bad habits, and you will never be able to escape the rat race. Number 6 on the list is extremely important. You might think that managing your finances is time-consuming and difficult, and most people think so, but that's just because of one of the most common bad habits there is. Because think about it, you receive your salary and you have to check which bills you should pay in priority. You have to understand if you have enough money to pay everything, and if you need some more for some special expenses like a birthday or repairing your car. Then you should also track how you spend your money so that you can better analyze your expenses. And well, all of this is difficult and takes time. And you will surely make some errors. I don't know how many times I forgot to pay a bill because I left it in a drawer and forgot about it. And the reason why it is so difficult is that you are only relying on your willpower and memory. That's what everyone does, but it just doesn't work. But now I give you an option. Would you prefer to be able to do everything easily and without even thinking? Because you can. You just have to do one simple thing: automatize all your payments, all your investments and savings. You just need to make an automatic payment for these 3 categories as soon as you receive your salary. This way, your money will be automatically managed, and the great thing is that you will finally be able to pay yourself first without even thinking about it. So once you've automatized your payments, you will be increasing your net worth on automatic, which just means you don't even have to spend 5 minutes on it every month. Now, for this last bad habit, just to show you its impact, it might have costed $34,000 on the salary of a colleague of mine, which is just crazy. And it's because we are humans and we like to stay in our comfort zones. We don't like big changes and we'd rather stay where we are, even though it's not perfect, instead of trying something new that could be better, but it's scary. This is what happened to this colleague of mine. She wasn't being paid well for her position and she knew it. She even tried to negotiate her salary, but without success. And so she was blocked in this position without possibility to earn more. But she was fine, because she was in her comfort zone. She wasn't searching for other opportunities because she thought it would be worse. 1 year passed, then another, and finally she decided to start looking for new opportunities. And just a couple of months after, she received an amazing offer, $34,000 more than her current salary for the same job in another company. And clearly she accepted. That's a huge raise. And not only that, it's closer to her place, she likes the environment, and she has more opportunities for career development. So what I want to say with that is that you don't have to be afraid to leave your comfort zone. It is important to keep your eyes open to find better job opportunities, because sometimes it could change your life. So how do you keep your eyes open? You just have to set alerts on websites like LinkedIn, Glassdoor and similar. You will automatically receive emails when new job offerings will be published, and so you will be aware of potential great opportunities for you. And even if you don't want to quit your company, thanks to all of that, you will have a huge leverage for negotiating your salary. Because if you see that you can get paid more somewhere else, if they want to keep you, they will have to pay you more. So if you keep your eyes open for other opportunities, you might find much better salaries and conditions, or you might just be able to better negotiate your salary. In any case, that's a win-win situation that will make you have more money. So if you correctly change these habits, you will make a huge step forward towards having more money and escaping poverty. But that's not all, because you might have the best habits in the world, but if you don't actually know how to manage your money, you will end up wasting it and finding yourself at the starting point. So if you want to be sure to have more money, watch this video. Thanks for watching and see you soon.